When you hear a phone camera has 12 megapixels or 32 megapixels, 48 megapixels, 108 megapixels, or even 200 megapixels like on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, I guess the question is, which one is better? Well, I am going to break it down and explain it in simple terms. The first thing to note is megapixel is the resolution size of a photo. So 1 megapixel equals 1 million tiny pixels it can produce in total. 12 megapixels equals 12 million pixels. 32 megapixels equals 32 million megapixels. 48 megapixels equals 48 million pixels, and so on and so on and so on. Also, the pixels are very tiny, red, green and blue dots, which make up a photo. There are factors that determine the pixels that go inside a camera sensor. Light is one factor. So in this example, the two black and white images represent camera sensors, which are the same size, but on the left, the black squares are bigger, and as a result, more light can enter the sensor. On the right, which again is the same size as on the left, but the black squares are smaller, meaning more squares can fit into the same shape with less light entering the camera sensor. Battery is another reason that determines the pixels that go into a phone camera. Basically, the more pixels you have, the more data to process for full resolution, which takes a hit on the battery. Another factor with megapixels is image quality. So the higher the megapixel, the better the image resolution, as the image tries to capture as much detail as possible, especially if you're planning to print the picture to display. The flip side to a high megapixel is that it eats up more storage space. And if you have limited internal storage on your device with no expandable storage, then you may need cloud storage, which is an additional expense. Also, have you noticed how sometimes it takes an eternity to send or transfer photos? Well, this is why. As explained earlier, a smaller pixel count lets less light into a camera sensor, given a lesser picture quality. Now, if the phone camera's processing software is very good, it can produce great or even better photos than a phone camera with more megapixels, which may explain why it is tough to notice photo qualities across devices. In a nutshell, a lesser megapixel phone camera can produce great photos, just like a phone camera with more megapixels. For example, take the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3, which has 3 times 12 megapixel cameras on it. However, the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra has a 108 megapixel camera in it. But can you tell from the two photos which was taken with which? All will be revealed a little later. Most people would just take a photo with their main phone camera, with that actually enabling the highest resolution megapixel on their device. And it's for this reason, phone manufacturers purposely default to a lesser picture quality setting to save your storage space. Take the Google Pixel 6a, which is a mid-range device, and it has a 12 megapixel main camera, unlike the 108 megapixel camera on the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. Depending on your view, you could argue the Google Pixel 6a takes better photos than the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, which technically has a better camera. But due to the really good tensor processor in the Google Pixel 6a, therefore it produces stunning photos. Of course, the decision for phone manufacturers is whether to fit more or less pixels into their phone cameras. So did you guess which phone cameras these photos were taken with? For the moment of truth, these are the results. Did you get it right? If not, it may prove my point that the highest megapixel does not always produce the highest picture quality. When it comes to taking videos, you want a low resolution. If you have too many megapixels, you can end up with a low quality video. To answer the question at the top of this video as to which is the best, I would argue that neither is the best, and it is a matter of personal preference. I plan on talking about pixel binning in another video, but I hope for now this video has given you some insight into megapixels. And now you probably get a better understanding of why 12 megapixels is the ideal format for expensive flagship phones, DSLR cameras, etc. And it doesn't mean a loss in quality. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. My name is Shola. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another episode. Ciao.